What is up, guys? My name is Max, and today is Monday, so you know what that means. Another history video, and today we're going to be talking about Sapphire. Yeah, she's the main female protagonist of the Gen 3 series, so we should move on. Alright, we're going to start with her holder, or dex holder, or trainer card, whatever you want to call it. You know, she's born in the Little Root town. It's basically the hometown of also the in-game town. So she is the daughter of Professor Birch as well. So yeah, she helps him out a lot as she was growing up. And you guys can see she's actually a real trainer. She has all these badges. She actually has all 8, but she never competed in the Hoenn League, or the championship, whatever you want to call it. She has the dex, her Steven's letter that she delivered, and this blue orb that she mystically got. Alright guys, let's move on to the main question. Who is Sapphire? A lot of people don't know who she is. A lot of people think she's Mei, but she's not Mei, not from the anime. She's actually the complete opposite of Mei. She hates contests. She finds them sissy-like and freaking artificial-like. Something like that I read in the manga. She doesn't like him at all. Ruby, on the other hand, the main male protagonist in the Gen 3 series, he does like contests, and he doesn't like battling. I mean, he does like battling, but to a certain degree. He doesn't battle just to battle like Mei does. I mean, like Sapphire does. So a lot of people want to know, how did she get into battling? Why is she into so much battling? Well, if you guys watched my Ruby video, I talked about when they met each other, Ruby and Sapphire, they met at a childhood age, at age 5, and when they went to I think I forgot where they went, but if you guys remember, I talked about this incident that first Ruby really liked battling, but then he changed his ways. So basically, a wild salamence attacked both of them, and Sapphire was crying like her eyes off, and Ruby was like defending her, and eventually they drove that salamence away, but Ruby thought that he tainted her soul or something like that, and didn't want to battle anymore. And then Sapphire thought that she was too girly and she thought that she didn't have that battling spirit. You know what I mean? She didn't have that battling spirit, so she decided to stop being such a girl and be more like a tomboy type of person. So it's really weird. So I don't know, but they were seriously they liked each other a lot when they were at the young age. But as they grew up and when they met again, they looked at each other differently. They looked to themselves as rivals. So yeah, and as you guys can see, she did like battling, and I can talk about her team now. So let's go with her team. Let's start with Chaka, aka Torchic, or now Blaziken. Chaka was given to Sapphire at an early age, so basically it wasn't her childhood Pokemon, but she got it before she started her journey. It later evolved into a Combusken at the Granite Cave, and then defeated Brawly's Hariyama, which is kinda cool. Then it evolved into a Blaziken while challenging Winnowa's Altaria, which is I think a flying and dragon type. So she defeated her with a Blaziken. Interesting fact: Sapphire depends a lot actually to Chaka, and Chaka's the only female Pokemon in her entire team. So it's kind of cool, I guess. So yeah, let's just move on. Moving on to Rono, aka Aron, aka Aggron now. Rono grew up with Sapphire, so basically it was a childhood Pokemon that she always had in Little Root Town, and then it evolved into a Larion at the Granite Cave after some serious training. So you can tell she was really into this training and battling stuff. And then it later evolved into an Aggron during some training on the Mirage Island, and became a really powerhouse in her team. So she would only use Aggron in serious battles and stuff, because he was seriously too powerful. Interesting fact: Rono really admired Sapphire's battling spirit. He really did. So he liked that, and he'd always like to battle his fullest to please Sapphire. Alright, moving on to the third, Fadodo. aka Don Fan. Fedoda was caught in Mauville City, and Fedoda was used for fast ground transport. As you guys can see, she's riding, or she's on top of Fedoda, and also was a really tough battler, so she used him also in battles and stuff. An interesting fact, Watson wanted to catch Fedoda when he first encountered him in Mauville City. So Watson's the electric type gym leader. I did some research, so, and Mauville is like where the electric type gym leader is at and stuff. So yeah, I guess he wanted to get it, but Sapphire was like, no, I want it. Alright, Whale or Wailulu. Sapphire borrowed Wailulu from her father, Professor Birch, and Wailulu was only used for water transport and other non-battling events. An interesting fact, Wailulu played a critical role in unsealing the legendary Regirock, Regice, and Registeel by fulfilling the Pokemon lineup requirements stated by the Brelly Stone Plate. So you guys remember when in the game you see this stone plate and has these like weird unknown or these weird letters and stuff? That's what it means, that stone plate. So he was responsible for that, which is kind of cool. Tororo, aka Tropius, if I'm saying that right. Tororo was also given by Sapphire by Professor Birch, and Tororo was really powerful, guys. But she used mainly for aerial transport and major battles. An interesting fact, Tororo joined Latios in an aerial battle against Ghouli's hideout and against this giant sea monster. This is in the Emerald series. I will be talking about the Emerald series a lot more in the next week's video when I'm talking about the history of Emerald. So we'll be hearing more about that later. Last Pokemon is going to be Rellili. I said that right, Rellili. Sapphire found Rellili in the shore of Route 123 or 123 due to Groudon's drought effect. So basically, it came to the shore like all like tired and stuff because of Groudon's drought. I don't know. Rellili helped Sapphire with his ability dive below sea levels. Like, so she used him to go into the sea cavern or like really down deep sea. I don't know, something like that. Rellili was also helped Wailulu with the seal of the Regis. Cool. So, but now both Rellili and Wailulu are kept in the sea. So, you know, like, so they can be free and stuff and not be in the Pokeball and stuff. That's pretty cool, I think. Story. Alright, usually I'd say pause around this time, and I want you guys to read the description where I'll be talking about this, like, so you guys get a general summary of each chapter. But if you guys don't want to read it, that's cool with me. That's cool. Alright, we're going to start from the far left. You see here Sapphire. I don't know, she looks like she's stuck somewhere and she's trying to get out. Then you see Sapphire and the fire gym leader Flannery underwater. Like, they're trapped, I think, right now. They're trapped. That's what I think it looks. And then you see Ruby and Sapphire. I think they're holding the orbs. The two orbs, the red orb and the blue orb. And then you see Sapphire having like a little flashback memory of how or why Ruby wears that hat to cover up his scars that he got from, I think, the incident. So it's kind of weird. But you can tell she does think about him a lot. And then you see here on the Emerald series, we're going to start from the far left. She's commanding Blaziken to do some sort of high kick maneuver. Then you see here, it looks Ruby in the background, and Sapphire is getting like, it looks like she's getting like talked to or something. Oh, who knows? But then you see the next one, Ruby and Sapphire laughing at Emerald. That like hair, that little thing, you guys, that's actually his hair. That's Emerald's hair. It's weird, and he's small, so we'll talk more about him in the next episode. And then you see here Sapphire commanding Blaziken to use Blast Burn, the ultimate move. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, let's move on. Final verdict and question. So there's like a little picture here that she's a lot older in this picture, fan made obviously, but she's celebrating her birthday. And yeah, so a final verdict and question. Let's talk about her, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys have a question of. So a lot of people want to know why she's into like that wild stuff. Like I said before in the earlier in the video I should say, she really wanted to freaking be more powerful. She really admired also like the senior trainers like Red. To her, Red was like her hero. Like she really looked up to Red. And when she battled outside with beside Red in the Emerald series, like she was so happy and stuff. So you guys can see she really was into the bounty stuff. Like she changed as she was getting older, but I think she changes back into ladylike after the Emerald series. That's what I think. You guys can see here Sapphire and Ruby trying to ignore each other, but when they both like each other a lot. You guys can see like a little shady picture of Ruby holding Sapphire's hand. And Sapphire, like I said, guys, she was really girly like. She was the opposite. She really didn't like battling back then. You guys can see she's wearing like a little dress and stuff. And you know, like that after that incident happened, like they switched. I don't know, it looked like they switched positions. Like Ruby like battling back then, but then he switched into contests and like the beauty aspects of Pokemon. A lot of people told me in the comments that he was gay. To be honest, guys, I think he was too. But I don't know. Like it's weird. Like the relationship now. I think they have an ambitious relationship. I don't know. That's what I read. Here's a funny picture of the new Gen 6. You guys know the Gen 6. These are the new protagonists in the Gen 6 series. The male and the female, and they're Fennekin, Chespin, and Frogican, whatever. And then you see here the bottom left, you see Sapphire and Ruby, and you see their Pokemon, the starters, looking at them. Really? They're gonna make another generation without our remake? How long are we gonna freaking wait? And then you see Steven in the background say, "Yay! No work on me." Like I think he doesn't want to. I think he's celebrating because he's still champion in the 3rd gen, and he's afraid that they're gonna replace him. I don't know. But anyways, on the right you see cool image here that Ruby and Sapphire have like their costumes remade for the next remake, which I like. I really like this. It looks a lot better than the old ones. It looks cool. You know, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Alright guys, that concludes it. That concludes the Sapphire history. If you guys want to know more about this girl, like I said, just read below. You guys can get a lot of information from the description, and you can just comment and I'll try to answer every single one of you guys. I most likely will, so I don't know why I'm saying try. But anyways, if you guys aren't subscribed, check that out. Hit that subscribe button. Also hit that like button because it does help me out. The Pokemon History Show. If you guys want to see the other previous episodes about Red, Blue, Yellow, you name it, just click that Pokemon History Show and you get redirected and to a separate channel page. You can subscribe to that channel page too, so you can get some other notifications of the history series. So yeah guys, thank you guys for watching. Stay real. I'll talk to you guys later. Ciao.